Pollution is a very serious issue for the simple reason that it has tremendous health costs and broader socioeconomic costs. At the aggregated level, pollution destroys between 4 to 5% of a country's GDP in many of our client countries. So you have to take it seriously. And largely the burden of pollution is with lower middle income countries, so the poorer of the poorest, and there mainly with children or the elderly. However, we know that we have too little data about the extent of that pollution. This is why governments are usually quite inactive in requesting support from the World Bank Group to fight pollution. World Bank Group support to pollution management has focused to a large extent on fighting climate change. This has been the agenda item for the last 10-15 years. So we see a huge increase in interventions that either help countries adapt to climate change or to fight GHG emissions. That is great, that's a good news. However, what we do not see is an increase in the support of pollution management, and that's surprising because not least by the release of the recent Lancet report, pollution has risen over the last 10 to 15 years significantly. And within the actual portfolio of World Bank Group support, the priorities are not necessarily in sync with the global pollution concerns. Now, why is this so? Three very simple reasons. Lack of data. Government countries do not know the extent of their pollution levels. And even where pollution monitoring data is there, they are not accessible or not made public. And without that, it's very difficult to attribute costs to the phenomenon of pollution. The other reasons are more in the area of political economy factors. Many countries, because they don't really know the extent of the pollution, believe that investment in pollution are luxury or unproductive investments. And last but not least, as I said earlier, pollution hits the poor. And the poor traditionally in many countries do not have an equal voice in the national policy dialogue. And this is why we see that pollution actually falls between the cracks from the national point of view. So the onus is really very much on the governments to make things happen. I think what needs to happen is that governments take the issue of pollution seriously, try to gather the data and make pollution a way more higher agenda item in their strategies, in the national plans, etc., and get it in the mind that in the daily decision making, pollution needs to be one of the factors or the fight against pollution.